Did you know there are 5 specific places where people live the longest? Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Icaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California. These places are called blue zones, and the people who live here consistently live to be 100 years or older. What do all these places have in common? They prioritize holistic health and wellness. Today, we're going to learn about holistic health and how you can teach your kids to prioritize it in their everyday lives, because who doesn't want to live longer? My name is Ivy, founder and CEO of Prequel. We run a program called Apollo where we help kids 9 to 13 explore different careers in industries that will matter in the next 10 years. One big hot topic today is longevity. One lesson that we have around longevity is holistic health, how kids can optimize their mental, emotional, and physical well-being. This helps them maximize their personal impact and live happier, healthier, and longer lives. By the end of this video, you'll be able to teach your kids what holistic health is and why it matters. Plus, at the end, you'll learn how to help them build their own personal wellness plan. Let's get started. There are 4 essential components to holistic health: food, fitness, sleep, and stress. First, let's talk about the impact of food on our holistic health. Imagine your body is a Ferrari. It's capable of amazing speed, strength, agility, both physical and mental. To perform well, your Ferrari deserves the best of the best. It needs high-quality fuel to run fast and smooth like it's designed to do. But when you fuel your Ferrari with low-quality fuel, the negative results are immediate. Just like a car would experience reduced acceleration and engine malfunctions, our bodies experience brain fog, reduced attention spans, and a drastic plunge in energy levels. When we eat sugary, processed foods, such as fast food or microwavable dinners, we're fueling our Ferraris with the lowest quality fuel we have. And over time, the results become more dangerous, leading to conditions like obesity, diabetes, heart problems, cancer, and more. But don't worry, there is good news. Instead of suffering through all of this, you can choose to fuel your body with high-quality foods. Whole foods are the foods that aren't processed. They're as close to their natural state as possible. For example, buying lettuce from a local farmer's market is always a better option than buying bagged lettuce from the supermarket. Whole foods are nutrient-dense and a much better choice of fuel for our bodies. And guess what? People living in the blue zones take their whole foods seriously. They prioritize whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and lean meats like chicken and fish. Not only do they have a good relationship with what they eat, but how they eat. Typically, people in the blue zones operate on the 80% rule. They stop eating when they're 80% full. This helps them build a balanced mind-body connection when it comes to food. This mind-body connection is called intuitive eating. Essentially, you tap into what your body is feeling as you eat. And here's a hot take. This includes cravings. Sometimes restricting bad foods has an inverse effect. Instead of making it easier to cut them out of our diet, it only makes us want them more. That's why one tiny craving can lead to a ton of overeating, and over time create a negative relationship with food. In the end, intuitive eating is all about balance. If your kid wants an Oreo, it's not going to hurt them, as long as they have a strong, healthy-based diet. It's okay to sprinkle in those processed foods. You can practice intuitive eating with your kids by asking them questions like, how does your belly feel? Would you like some more, or are you satisfied? It's okay to treat yourself. No foods are off limits. Don't worry about cleaning your plate. The food will still be here tomorrow. You can even use the Ferrari analogy to explain the importance of high-quality foods as fuel. We also encourage kids to learn about the gut-brain connection. Our gut is made up of a microbiome, which has billions of bacteria and microorganisms working to digest our food and keep us healthy. But the gut isn't just used for food. Scientists have discovered a direct relationship between our guts and our brains. That's why chronic conditions like IBS exist. Too much stress in our mind sends a signal to our gut that something is wrong, and our body reacts to that. The same is true for anxiety and depression. To simplify it further, think of familiar phrases like gut feeling or butterflies in their stomach. These phrases exist because our gut-brain connection is so strong that it has a real psychological effect on our bodies. If your kid is interested to learn more about the gut-brain connection, we recommend checking out the videos linked in the description below. These are all things that they really aren't taught in school, so it's incredibly important to teach at home how to eat well so that they can lead healthier lives in the future. Next, let's talk about fitness. In a world full of desk jobs and knowledge work, humans are living more sedentary lifestyles than ever before. Just think of our ancestors who spent their days hunting, gathering, building shelters. Think of the ancient Greeks and Romans who prioritized physical health and fitness. You can even look back to just 2 to 3 generations ago, when our great-grandparents were so active they couldn't imagine living a sedentary lifestyle. Now, it's more important than ever that we teach our kids the value of physical health, especially when they're sitting at their desks, at school, and doing homework all day. Exercise not only keeps you physically strong and able-bodied, but it's essential for respiratory, cardiovascular, and cognitive health. Exercise helps to improve short-term and long-term memory, improve focus, improve long-term mental health, improve reaction time, and protect against neurodegenerative disease. Put simply, movement is medicine. There are 2 basic types of exercise: cardio workouts and strength workouts. Cardio workouts consist of activities like walking, running, biking, and swimming. These activities get your blood pumping and your heart rate high. They strengthen your lungs, your heart, and they flood your body with healthy, mood-boosting endorphins. Strength workouts are all about resistance training, like lifting weights, fitness classes, like Pilates, or any exercises with resistance bands. The goal of strength training is to build up your strength, of course, but also to keep your bones strong and your joints mobile and healthy. Both forms of exercise are important, and incorporating a mixture of the 2 into your life is always the best option. The cool thing is that exercise isn't strictly subject to sweaty, smelly public gyms. For example, people in the blue zone don't shell out thousands of dollars a year for a gym membership. They don't stress about how much exercise they got that day. Instead, they simply prioritize getting outside and moving their bodies. Exercise is a lifestyle for them, and it can be for you and your kids too. Anything can be exercise: hiking, playing outside in the backyard, walking your dog, and more. There's so many moments in our daily lives where we can choose to be active and strong. But let's be real, most of our jobs require a computer, and most of our kids are around using tech in the classroom and at home. Staying active can get tricky. At Prequel, we teach the Pomodoro effect for studying. So for every 25 minutes your kid spends on a screen, teach them to take at least 5-minute break. Then go for a walk, or even perform yoga poses to counter the stiffness that comes with sitting at a desk. They can drop down to do some push-ups as well. The most important thing to remember is that your kids naturally emulate what you do. So be mindful for the next time that you're laying on the couch while your kid play tag outside. You have an opportunity to show them that living an active lifestyle is important and preferable. Now let's talk about sleep. Sleep is foundational to good health, but today's hectic world of stress, anxiety, and far too much screen time is directly damaging to our sleep. Many of us shrug this off and just add another coffee to our morning routine, but insufficient sleep can actually hinder our life expectancy. So what exactly happens when we sleep? Sleep is regulated by our internal body clock, which is known as circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is what naturally makes us more tired at night and more awake in the presence of light. There are 4 stages to sleep. The first stage is when you're in bed still awake. The second is when you first fall asleep. Both of these stages are considered light sleep, but the third stage is where things get interesting. You start to fall into a deep sleep. Your brain produces delta waves, which are known for healing and strengthening the body. Your cells begin to produce hormones that also heal and support your bones and muscles, allowing your body to repair itself from the day's activities. And the 4th stage of sleep is called REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. This is the deepest stage of sleep and the stage where you experience dreams. With a healthy night of sleep, you will experience these stages 4 to 5 different times. But with blue light from our phones and Netflix movies taunting us before bedtime, our circadian rhythms get all out of whack. That's why after scrolling social media right before bed, you struggle to fall asleep. Thoughts run wild in your mind, colors flash behind your eyes, and you feel wide awake. This leads to bad sleep, where you don't experience all 4 stages like you're supposed to. Your body doesn't get the chance to fully heal and repair itself. So you wake up feeling drowsy and fatigued the next morning. Your energy levels are down, your focus is foggy, and your productivity suffers because of it. More importantly, sleeping less than 7 hours a day is linked to chronic conditions that can reduce life expectancy, such as obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. So how do people living in the blue zones approach sleep? They wake with the sun and sleep when it gets dark. They follow the natural cadence of their circadian rhythm, and this allows them to live longer, healthier lives. Now, this might not feel realistic with all the technology in your house, but it is something you can teach your kids to be more mindful of. Don't stay up late binging Netflix, and limit blue light exposure before bedtime. The bottom line, sleep matters. Here are some tips to help your kids consistently get the best night of sleep possible. Number 1, go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. Exercise regularly, sleep in a cool, dark room, stop screen time use at least 1 hour before bed, go for an evening walk, take a bath, or listen to relaxing music. Know that most of these habits around exercise and sleep and eating well, these habits are built from childhood and need to start today. Lastly, let's talk about stress. Stress negatively affects every area of our well-being, mental, emotional, and physical. Stress isn't inescapable, but it is manageable, and it's crucial that we equip our kids with the tools they need to manage their stress in life. When we experience stress, a hormone called cortisol is released into our bloodstream. Cortisol sends our bodies into fight or flight mode. Our hearts beat faster, our glands produce more sweat, and our pupils dilate. Again, our thoughts have real tangible effects on our bodies. Staying in fight or flight mode for too long can wreak havoc on our well-being. It disrupts our body's natural processes, potentially leading to anxiety, depression, digestive problems, headaches, muscle tension, and pain, heart disease and heart attacks, high blood pressure, and strokes, sleep problems and weight gain, detoxing from stress. And teens and kids today are more stressed than ever, so it's incredibly important to talk to them about stuff like this. Detoxing from stress is a practice of mindfulness. For example, people in the blue zones lean heavily into their social relationships. They spend quality time with friends and family. They share physical affection and they hug often. They also lean into their spirituality. They meditate and pray to quiet their minds and calm their bodies. Social and spiritual relationships are just two ways you can help your kid learn to manage stress. At Prequel, we also recommend using stress management apps, such as Happify, where kids can track their feelings and stay in touch with their stress levels. Whether spending time in nature, exercising, hanging out with friends, or journaling, it's important that your kids learn how they personally prefer to de-stress, and the best time to start that is now. These are all things that I wish I had learned and started developing habits about in my teens or even earlier in childhood. Because in my 20s, when I started work, when I started taking on financial pressures, and more things came into my life, it became harder to make time for these habits and start building them from scratch. We often go and start eating out more and eating processed foods because it's so much easier, because we didn't build that taste palette to enjoy whole foods. We don't sleep as well because as a teen, once we go off to college and we can control our own sleep schedules, we all of a sudden sleep into towards noon and then go to sleep whatever we want. And then same with physical exercise. If this habit wasn't built in childhood, this desire to feel good after a good sweat, it doesn't naturally develop in adulthood either. And same with stress management. Teens face so much in the world, and it's so important for them to learn how to de-stress and what tools they have in their toolkit to manage their stress. Now that you know how to talk to your kids about holistic health, it's time to help them build a personalized wellness plan they can stick to. I linked a Notion template below in the description, which is the exact template we give our students to help them plan out their food, fitness, sleep, and stress management goals all in one place. We also have some resources and reflection questions to help them understand why this is important. If you've watched this far into the video, we have one last challenge for you. It's called the discomfort challenge. You have to push your kid to do one thing around holistic health they've never done before. Whether it has to do with diet, exercise, meditation, cold plunging, or taking screen time fasts. Before you go, just remember, our mental, emotional, and physical well-being are really tied together, and taking care of our holistic health is the key to peak performance and a long, happy life. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe for more additional ways to help your kids thrive in life and work. You can also sign up for Prequel's weekly newsletter. We give advice and free resources to parents who want their kids to learn the skills to get ahead in school and life, especially the skills not normally taught in school. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more.